you noticed how much information about racing enduro in 2023 in Sweden has dropped in the last 2 weeks? There's been two quite big announcements from CES and GES. We'll get into those acronyms in a minute. Also a pretty low-key announcement from the National Series, which also is a huge improvement from last year, which we will get into at the back end of this video. When I first moved here, there was just the Swedish National Series and some sort of underground races. But going into 2023, we're going to have 3 series that are completely official and all sanctioned by SCF. This is huge. This is huge. And I managed to get myself, by chance, into a meeting with the 2 organisers of the current Capital Enduro Series and the new Gotland Enduro Series, ran by Philip Fagerberg and Roger Edvinson. So thank you guys, firstly, for letting me in on that. But I thought I'd just share a bit of that information, with their permission, to you guys. So let's start off with the Capital Enduro Series. When I spoke to Roger, this is what he had to say. The calendar for all 5 races is going to come out next week. No tracks are decided. They're still waiting for certain licenses and permissions. There will be 5 races in the series this year, 2 in the spring, 2 in the autumn, and in the middle of the year, they're going to do the same thing with the Swede Cup and the Capital Enduro Series round in Stockholm, in Flotsbro. So if you race the Capital Enduro Series, then you can race the National and the Motoin class, and then you will get your points for the Capital Enduro Series. And the last race will be the same as this year, with the Enduro and Dual Slalom taking place the same day at Vachon, and let me tell you, it was frigging awesome this year. The Dual was great. It was such a laugh. If you don't know what it was like, or you didn't get a chance to get there or see it, or you want to know more, there's a link below, and it has the vlog from me racing there. 4 races will count towards your overall in the Capital Enduro Series, and the same in the Gotaland Enduro Series. What makes this really special is that you can take one of your results from each series. So if you fancied a weekend away and you live in the southern half of Sweden, you can come up to Stockholm and come and race Vahobacken or one of the other venues that we can't talk about just yet. Or the same, if you live Stockholm or on the north side, you can take a drive down and go to one of the venues down there. I do know what they are and they sound lovely, but I'm not allowed to tell you much about them just yet, sorry. One big thing for the Capital Enduro Series, it's a free entry for girls up to 16 years old. This is just to encourage more people to come into the sport and enjoy the sport that we all love. If you're here watching this video, I'm guessing you enjoy Enduro, so that's pretty cool. But that's everything we have to say right now about the Capital Enduro Series. This is Roger's thing. He took what was a small group of riders doing a few time laps and having some beers into what has become a series that rivals the National Series, which is awesome. So let's move on and let's have a chat about what Philip Fagerberg and Ride and Develop have launched in the southern half of Sweden. So let's talk about the series. It is the Gotaland, not to be confused with Gotland Enduro Series, which is what I thought when he first told me over the phone. I was like, that might be a challenge. But no, it's the Gotaland. So it's going to be based around the southern half of Sweden. I really want to tell you more of the venues, but I just can't. However, I do have a sneaky suspicion that the first round might be at Gränna. Having ridden there myself many times, I can say that would be a pretty cool place to have a race. Also, it is a very nice venue for someone that is new to the sport. There's not too much super technical there, but equally, if you're trying to prepare for the first round of the Nationals, which is going to be the week after in Göteborg, then what better way to do it? Because let's face it, any track, technical or not, when you're trying to go as fast as you can, it gets pretty freaking hard, right? Or at least that's how I feel about it. When I spoke to Philip about this series, he had this to say. We're excited to finally announce the Gotaland Enduro Series, a new race series designed for riders of all levels. Our goal is to provide a training ground for more advanced riders and introduce new riders to the exciting sport of enduro. Our 5 events will be held in some of the best riding spots in southern Sweden, and we promise a great atmosphere at each one. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced rider, we welcome you to join us and push your limits on the trails. We can't wait to see you there. I want to do them all. Like, they all sound so good. And racing in new places, how often is it that you get to race at a new venue? And yeah, like I say, I know what these venues are, and they are going to be great. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Gotaland Enduro series also have Instagram, so check that out in the link below. And yeah, keep up to date. It's gonna be great. Right, okay, on to the National Series. I have so much to say about the Swedish National Series. I just need a minute. For those of you that haven't seen this or haven't heard of this, if you go onto Svenska Cykelförbundet and type in Enduro into the calendar, hit that little enter button, then what do we have here? We have Enduro Swede Cup 1, Göteborg. Enduro Swede Cup 2, Ulricehamn, round unnumbered as of yet. Östersund, then Stockholm, then Arvika, which, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I believe that might be national champs, which is pretty cool because Arvika have been putting on a good show for the last 2 seasons. And then finals, as ever, in Iserberg, which finals at Iserberg was sick this year. They really upped their game. So let's talk about it. There is not so much information to go on. At the moment, we just have these rounds. So we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. We don't know if it's going to be all rounds count like this year. I don't think it is from what I've heard, but I can't confirm that. My initial thoughts are sick that the calendar's out, and of course the link will be down below so you can check all the dates and everyone can get those holidays booked in for the long weekends, because everyone knows it's better to like at least get there like Friday afternoon and turn up Saturday morning for a national, because no matter where you are in Sweden, at some point you're driving like 6 hours to get there, right? Anyway, it's really good that, hold up, right, we're back. The Enduro dog is back in the house, so if you hear that noise, that's what it is. Okay, back to Swedish Nationals. Right, if you skip back to this time last year, there was absolutely zero information on what races were going to be out. If you fast forward 4 months, 3.5 months, there was still very little information. And then some venues came, but there was some dodgy dates, and then we heard some rounds were coming and then they didn't, and it was an absolute mess. So now the events have turned up on the calendar, which is a huge improvement. There hasn't been an official announcement, and I can tell you a little bit about that, but we can't go into too much detail. But there is going to be a new face for this, a new Instagram account, a new website. A lot more information will be coming out about that in due course. But having spoke to the people behind it, it's going to be a big step up from what it has been, which leaves me feeling quite positive, because I think, despite there still being some issues, Sweet MTB Gravity, as it was called, was a big step up from ESS. Well, let's face it, they didn't steal loads of money from everyone, so that's obviously better. But yes, overall, we're generally quite positive. I can't hide my disappointment that once again, Order isn't on the calendar. We will be going up to Östersund, which Östersund was amazing this year, wasn't it? It was so good. But we're making the drive all the way up there, and then for 1 extra hour, you're in Order and you're racing tracks that are actually similar to the stuff we'd be racing on the World Series, and that once again isn't at Nationals, which is quite disappointing. I'd love to hear more about why that is, and if there's anything the Enduro community can do to bring that back, but that's not what this video is about. There will be another video coming out in the future going into a bit more detail and positives and negatives I've found in the last 4 years of racing here. But anyway, that is all the information we have for now. So let's just sum it up quite quickly. We have the Capital Enduro Series, or the CES, which will be having a 5-round series. 4 races count to your overall. We know that one of the rounds is going to be Stockholm, which is joined to the National, and we know that one of the rounds is going to be at Vähäbacken, which is also going to include the dual slalom like it did this season. Then there's also going to be the Gotaland Enduro Series, not Gotland Enduro Series, which is going to also be a 5-round series. And we know that the first round is, well, we potentially think that maybe the first round might be in Grana, and that is going to be a week before the first national series. So there is your warm-up, people. And then the dog has found a ball. And on to the nationals. Of course, the calendar is out now, but there is absolutely zero information out to accompany it. But from what I've heard, there is a lot of information, and there's some good people behind it. So that should be coming out very soon, and it's to be excited about. Ulricehamn is back on the calendar. That is a good race. Anyone that was there in 2020 knows how much fun that race was. So I'm happy to see that back. Falun hasn't appeared, so we're gonna miss that one. Shelvig's back and is a favourite for everyone. But that's all the information we have right now. This will probably be the last release from the channel this year, so I just want to take the chance to say thank you to everyone that's been part of the journey, and I really appreciate your support. It's been a huge year, and we've done things that I didn't think was ever possible. And everyone that's helped out, you know who you are. Everyone that hasn't helped out, hit that like button, drop a comment, and why not subscribe? Yeah. Other than that, have a good Christmas, people. See you next season.